And Lady Pirates picked up a 14-3 win over Rio Hondo. Game 2 on the schedule. The Sharyland Lady Rattlers taking on the host team, the Los Fresnos Lady Falcons. That pitch well upstairs for ball 3. Ariana Guerra leading things off for the Sharyland Lady Rattlers. Batting second is Sofia Isalas. Batting third, Lexi Murillo. Batting fourth, Tristan Maddox. Batting fifth is Alyssa Silva. Batting sixth is Alexis Silva. Batting seventh, Star Fonseca. Batting eighth, Karen Castañeda. That's in for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. Marisol Gonzalez batting ninth, rounding out the starting lineup for the Sharyland Lady Rattlers. That pitch upstairs for ball 4, and just like that, Sharyland's going to have a base runner and a leadoff walk issued. So Guerra draws the leadoff walk. Salas now the batter, looking to lay down the bunt. First pitch, finding the strike zone for strike 1. Top of the first inning. Guerra aboard on first. That ball hit foul. Heads up, Coach Blackman over on the third base side. No balls, 2 strikes. That ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Liana Bornias in the circle for the Lady Falcons. Sam Campos doing the catching. Popped up. Into left field for out number 1. Sophie Varela makes the catch out in left field. 1 down in the inning. Lexi Murillo now the batter. Pitch upstairs for ball 1. One 0 on the way. Ball hit to the third base side, looking to turn 2, 5, 4. Not in time over at first, but the out, getting the lead runner on the 5-4 putout. Murillo reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 down in the inning. Tristan Maddox, the shortstop. First plate appearance for Maddox. Wild pitch that will advance the runner to second. Two outs, 1 ball, no strikes to the batter, Maddox. Pitch misses upstairs for ball 2. And another wild pitch. Runner will advance to third. 2 down in the inning. Sharyland's got the lead runner on third. Maddox ahead in the count. 3 balls, no strikes. And ball 4. Now runners on the corners. Maddox draws the 2-out walk. Alyssa Silva, the second baseman, comes to the plate. Two down in the inning, runners on the corners. Silva digs in, batting from the left-handed side of the plate. Ball outside, runner going. That's going to be a wild throw. Sharyland's going to take the 1-0 lead. Maddox rounding third. She's going to head home and score easily on the errant throw. It's going to be 2-0 Sharyland, and that will clear the bases. Pitching an early issue for Los Fresnos. Two-run score with 2 down. Sharyland jumps ahead early. Two balls, no strikes. That pitch upstairs for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to the batter, Silva. Alexis Silva, the pitcher. She's waiting in the on-deck circle. And that's a 4-pitch walk. Silva draws the 2-out walk. Sharyland jumps ahead early, 2-0. Brings up Alexis Silva. Star Fonseca in the on-deck circle. First pitch in for a called strike 1. That pitch well upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner caught in a rundown between first and second. They're going to gun her out for out number 3. That's how the inning will come to an end. Midway through the first, Sharyland jumps ahead 2-0 on Rio Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for...
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Bottom of the first. Lady Falcons, the host team, get their first crack at it offensively to meet the starting lineup for Coach Tracy Blackman's club. Leading it off, Andrea Guevara, followed by Teresa Vila. Reba Reyes batting third. Batting in the fourth spot is Samantha Campos. Batting fifth, Crystal Pettis. Batting sixth, Sofia Valeria. First pitch in for strike one. Sophie Varela. Batting sixth. Batting seventh, Kayla Jimenez. The 0-1 swung on and recorded for out number one. Score that an F7 on her scorecard. Natasha Gonzalez batting eighth. Tabby Garcia batting ninth. Teresa Vila. She gets aboard on a one-out single. Now this brings up Reba Reyes, arguably the best player in the Valley. I know I've made it public, in my opinion, pound for pound, best player in the Rio Grande Valley today. And that is Miss Reyes. She digs into the box. First pitch upstairs for ball one. Talk about players and having the 5 tools on being a successful player. Reba Reyes certainly has all of those 5 tools. Reyes fouls that one back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sam Campos in the on-deck circle. Let's meet the starting defense on the corners for Sharyland. Star Fonseca at first base. Ariana Guerra at third. In the circle is Alexis Silva. Doing the catching, Sofia Isalas. Pitch upstairs. Runner slides in safely. 2 balls, 1 strike to the batter, Reyes. Marisol Gonzalez out in right field. Anna Cruz in left. Lexi Murillo in center. That's the starting defensive lineup for the Lady Rattlers. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count to Reyes. Pitch upstairs for ball 3. Coach Brett Esparza joining us here. He'll throw on a headset whenever he's ready. Got one right there. Three 3-1 on the way to Reyes. Fouls that one back.
Hey Kevin, how you doing?
Coach Esparza joining us. Doing well. Doing well. You like the view from up here. It's a little
Yeah,
different.
You have the Bob Euchre look right here.
Yeah. You know, I was walking up here and it was shaky at first, but I kind of got over that. I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Coach Esparza of the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats joining us with Reba Reyes at the plate. High and inside for ball 4. Reyes draws the walk. Coach, so we saw your team go toe-to-toe with Divine last night. Lost a close one, and then this morning, it's a different team really that we saw. What was your message to the girls after the loss against Sinton?
It was just that. I mean, we were a different team this morning than we left the park last night. And we have to use that situation or this situation kind of like the best of three series you see in the playoffs. And we lost a heartbreaker last night, and we have to learn how to get up in the morning and come back to work and with that same intensity we left the park with. But that's what these preseason tournaments are for. And this is a great tournament for us to have two quality teams in Divine and Sinton come to Los Fresnos and play. And that's somebody we have history with both schools. And we're just, it's a great opportunity for us to see him early.
Samantha Campos, the batter, 1 ball, 1 strike. Los Fresnos with runners on first and second. They trail 2-0 and a chance to get right back in this ball game early. Hey, you mentioned the history that you have with them, and of course, we all know the famous Divine game from a couple years ago. Both runners will advance second to third. And you talk about Sinton, a team that you guys saw last year, and the familiarity with each other. Did Divine bring that up at all?
Yeah, actually, their head coach was an assistant on the staff a couple years ago when we played him in that game at Toloso, and he remembered all the kids, and our kids remembered a lot of their kids, and you grab that lineup from them, and you see the names, and you hardly forget quality playoff opponents, and so. We saw the names, and they still had a quality ball club. They're even missing some girls that he's going to add to the puzzle that are still playing basketball. But yeah, no, a great ball club, and we have a lot of respect for them and what they do, and he does a great job.
Lexi Murillo just about robbed the home run of Sam
Campos. A heck
Campos.
of a play over here in center.
That was right at the wall. Made the catch. The run will score on the sacrifice fly. Both runners will advance. Crystal Pettis will come to the plate. Hey, you talk about a game, 2 years ago that really kind of just redefined what crazy games mean.
We almost did it again last night. I thought we were going to play all night long.
Yeah, and it's too bad that it's a timed game. That's what I was telling Coach Debbie Esparza. It's too bad you guys couldn't play 7 innings because you guys were going pound for pound with them.
Right. No, but it leaves some something to wonder. We can go back and regroup and retool, and we don't want to put the cart before the horse. And we have a tough district road ahead of us, and we can get a little taste of what it is, but still go back and refocus on district. But you're right. To go 7 innings with one of those guys would be fantastic, since we don't really see them too much beforehand. But we're glad they're here, and we're able to kind of test ourselves against them, and then go back and retool and grow up a little bit and fix what we need to fix, tinker a little bit. At this point, we're all maintenance. At this point, we're second tournament in, almost done, and we'll have our first district game on Tuesday. We're at Hidalgo, and then we'll finish at the San Benito tournament next week, and that'll be an attorney season. And at this point, it's all maintenance right now. It's fine tuning things and finding the right pieces to the puzzle, and I think we have a pretty good look at where we're at. We're a long way from where we were when we started, and we have a long way to go. So
Crystal Pettis drills this one.
Oh, she got that one.
That one's well gone and out of here. Crystal Pettis with a 2-run shot. That's what you're going to see. This is a team that hit 42 home runs last year, and that was a club record. And this team, how do you go up against a team like this? They're going to swing. They're going to swing aggressive.
You just try to do your best to keep them off balance. If the tough part about Los Fresnos is you want to try to work for every kid, and they do such a good job of hitting stuff that you make a mistake, they hurt you with it. We scrimmage them every year. We play them when we come over here into this tournament, and they make our pitchers better. Because if you make a mistake or you're not on or something slips away from you, that's exactly what you're going to see is another ball go over the wall. Every one of these girls, from even the great Reba Reyes to everybody in that dugout can just stroke it. So you make a mistake and they'll make you pay.
Just like you saw there, Bettis with a 2-run home run, and it's 3-2 Sharyland in the blink of an eye. There's going to be a base hit into right field. Kayla Jimenez now coming to the plate. So we talk about this tournament. I was talking with some coaches yesterday, and just the talent that's in it. And what it does to these teams. PI. You guys got to see PI, a district opponent. You guys got Lyford again at 2 o'clock. And you have Divine, you have Sinton, you have yourselves.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be a really, really tough tournament. Everybody is getting better. The teams that are coming in are getting better. And we looked at when Coach Blackman sent out the pool games, we kind of looked at our pool slot and we're like, okay, well, we better be on our A game, well, basically all weekend, and it's been that way. We had to be at our best last night against Divine. There's another ball in the gap, man.
Yeah, this Lady Falcon team can hit. That's going to score a run. It's going to be 4-2 on the RBI double from Kayla Jimenez.
But yeah, we looked at our schedule and realized that with Divine last night into Sinton this morning, that's 2 back-to-back games where you got to be good, and of course Lyford is if not in the same category with top 5 in the region, if not the state, then they're not getting the justice they deserve. But they're a quality team too. So we come right off that Sinton game this morning and have to kind of get ourselves going for Lyford at 2. But all those things are going to make us better, because at the end of the day, it's all about how you finish down the road, and we want to be our best at that point.
Natasha Gonzalez at the plate, 8th batter in the order. Smacks that one foul. Even their foul balls are hit hard. Yeah, and that's one thing I mentioned during y'all's game, was that we're going to learn a lot about the character of the team when you lose a heartbreaker, and you lose to Sinton with the first 10 o'clock game. Then you got a couple of, an hour, 2 hours to prepare for Lyford right around at 2 o'clock, and we'll see how the kids respond, and I think that's how coaches approach it more or less.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And what I like to see was the fact that we managed to get bases loaded, and then Abby T steps in there and drills the ball down the line, and we get some runs back right away. So anybody, some teams check it in right there, and our kids have the mettle to step in there and get something, try to get something back, even claw scratch there at the end, and you kind of felt like, okay, here comes Rojondo. Some things go our way. We had base load again, and Reiner hits a ball down the right field line, and if it's down, it gets down, and maybe there's a couple more runs there, and but it's one of those things that I'm glad that we put on something there at the end, and it kind of boosts our efforts going into life for a little bit, because that's easy. It's easy for us to say, well, we ended on a high note. The energy was high. We just got to start a little fresher. That 10 o'clock game, and we have a different outcome.
Yeah, that was my next question. The way that game shaped up and the way that last inning happened, you guys see it as that a little bit of a momentum builder?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. It has to be. There was 2 innings there. We had quick work. We had I think it was a 1-4-2 double play on the bunt, and then we ended up getting that third out on a strikeout, and then the heart of their order comes up, and Kelsey, was dealing at that point, and had a couple changeups. We got him to pop up, and we had 2 quick innings where hey, we kind of settled them down and started to build some momentum back on our side before that last inning got away from us. But we finished the game scoring some runs, putting it back in perspective for ourselves, and having some pride in what we do, and so that's our focus going forward. Is this is what we did, and this is what was good and what was bad, and eliminate the bad and move forward. We had the great play from. We had to move some people around, so we had a new center fielder today, and Alize Herrera did a great job in center field, and I think she gives us a little bit of versatility there. She was able to run a lot of things down, and makes us a little bit very solid up the middle, and that was a point we were looking for. Abby T has made the move to third base to try to solid us up defensively, and she was good there today again. So, and Emma's coming around a catcher. Emma Sedna's coming around a catcher. She did a great job going back to cover third on that bunt. We had the double play. So, the kids are playing better, and they're playing better and better, and we're finding more confidence in each other. And so to end with Sinton that way, we knew they were tough. That's the defending district champion, and we saw them in round 3 for a reason. They brought everybody back except I think maybe the first baseman graduated. But that is who they are, and we knew exactly who they were going to be. And for their credit and ours not, they were ready for it, and we weren't.
Coach Brett Esparza from the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats joining us. Checking out the host team, the Los Fresnos Lady Falcons, taking on the Sharyland Lady Rattlers. And that was one thing that you and I talked about earlier this week when I had that conversation with Coach Tressler about, you brought up the word maintenance. and just funneling in these younger girls at the varsity level. And you mentioned Alize Herrera, who's a freshman. Then you have Alexis Reiner, Emma Sedana. You have I talked about the strong sophomore group where you're junior heavy, where you still have this year and next year, but then you also have this sophomore group that's really starting to hit their stride. And we saw them hit that stride last year in the playoffs. So just talk a little bit about the sophomore group and how you've implemented, the youthfulness on your team.
Yeah, we have a good number of sophomores in our program. Jalissa Salceda is everyday, not an everyday player for us, but she's a second baseman, comes in and helps us out. She had an at bat today. Alexis Reiner was huge for us through the playoffs and had a slow start but came on strong. She played left today for the first time this year. She's been our basically our DP. And then we have Aaliyah Lopez who comes in and does some running for us. But there's just tons of speed in that class, and they're very athletic. And so it's just a matter of building the bridge from what the alumni have done to what these young kids need to do. And the bar's been set, and they're ready to step up to the challenge. And our job is really to kind of push them in the right direction and cultivate that youth at a younger level. And the way we do practice helps do that. We kind of put everybody in the same spectrum. We don't really send anybody away, and everybody practices together for the most part. We have a lot of peer mentorship in our program. The older kids really take a young one under their wing and try to develop them that way and show them the way of the the way of the land. And that's been huge for us, is the willingness of our kids to be humble and guide each other.
No balls, 2 strikes to the batter. Karen Castañeda, the designated player, 8-9-1, the order due up for the Lady Rattlers. 4-2 ball game. Top of the second inning. Ground ball to the right side. 4-3 put out. 2 up, 2 down in the inning. At first, this gate was locked, but they were able to unlock it for us. I wasn't sure we were going to make it up here. But, we give a shout out to Coach Tracy Blackman and old Dana Wise over at Port Isabel. They've opened the doors wide open for us, and some good hospitality. Yesterday we were camped out in center field. Today not so much, but a pretty good view.
Yeah, I when I saw you climbing up here, I thought, well, you're kind of crazy for grabbing the Bob Uecker seat, but you do have a good view of what's going on out here.
Well, it was Joe's idea. He started it last year when San Benito and Los Fresnos played here. And I seen him, and he told me that day was actually windy, so I couldn't imagine being up here when it was that windy and this starts rattling. Coach Blackman actually offered us it's down there, it's a tarp.
Oh, give you some
yeah,
shade.
Some shade, but it was too big, but it's not that hot.
No, we're glad you guys could come out and stream the games. It's so huge what you guys are doing for Valley sports and the kids in our area, most importantly, and their parents, and being able to see the games and see each other play and support each other. We're able to sit back and watch basketball and softball around the Valley, and when they go in the playoffs or have big matchups at home, and what you guys are doing is really, really unprecedented and really huge for the Valley. It's something that when we go visit other schools and we tell them, hey, it's okay if Rio Sports streams the game, they're just blown away and taken back by how much support we have from you guys and everybody that are willing to come out and do this. And so what you guys are doing is tremendous, and we really, really appreciate it. I think I speak for most coaches in the Valley when I say that, this is something that's fan friendly, it's kid friendly, it's school friendly, and we really, really do appreciate what you and Joe and the fellas do.
That strikeout ends the top half of the frame. Coach Brett Esparza joining us on the broadcast as we head to the bottom half of the second inning. It's 4-2, Los Fresnos lead. Yesterday I had a good conversation with Joey Rios about where softball is at. And I know you and I have had this conversation plenty of times before, but, where softball is at in 2020, and we're seeing teams kind of find their identity early in the season. Uh, you have Los Fresnos, a team that's going to score a lot of runs. Harlingen South, they're going to score runs. They have pitching. San Benito, they always retool. So
How good is that district, right? How good is
yeah,
that
no,
district
and
with
I
Harlingen coming on so young and Los Fresnos being, one of those schools that just continues to improve. And then you still have San Benito and South. They're still in this thing. And so between all those schools, I mean, and Rivera's a team that's getting better year by year. I think they had a big win yesterday. I think they beat Sharyland yesterday. So, Coach Guzman's doing good over there. And everybody's competitive. And Boomer was Coach of the Year last year,
he was.
So, that district is all those got phenomenal people and phenomenal programs. And, that's a heck of a district. So whoever faces them first round has got their work cut out for them, because whoever can claw their way out of that district is going to be tested for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like we're having the same conversation every year about 32-6A. I felt that last year 31-6A was probably a little bit more loaded, but this year 32-6A full circle just might be the toughest district. I know Hannah's a little young, and Rivera, they're going to be hanging around, and then you have, again, Harlingen South and San Benito, the two top teams. You have Los Fresnos, a team that can hit the ball extremely well. And again, like you mentioned, Harlingen, they do have a lot of youth, but they only have 2 seniors on that roster, but they're playing really good softball right now.
Yeah, they really are. That's a team that we being right there in the in the outskirts of San Benny and Harlingen, we're right in the mix with all those kids growing up, and so we kind of see them come along, and you can kind of see pipelines, you know what I mean? And so you see these younger kids coming into Harlingen, they're going to be pretty good. And if they can put it together. And last year they had some pieces, but they were very young, and so they took their lumps. They got a good head coach right now, and he's got them going in the right direction. So he's doing a good job with them, and they're playing good ball. They've had some big signature wins. They beat Mercedes week 1, and then McAllen Memorial week 2, and they were, to me, I was able to catch a couple games, and they're one of my one of my teams I was most impressed with at the Mission tournament. That's something our kids, I like for them to do is people watch. I'm a people watcher, and I want them to people watch in the sense of I want them to see teams and see what good teams look like. Find characteristics that they can resemble, things that we do that we can identify that team is good, that program is good, and try to identify those things, and then how do we put our own Rojondo spin on that thing.
Tabitha Garcia, the 9th batter in the order, fouls that one back for strike 1. And you look at a team like Edinburgh Vela. They'll a little slow start to their season, but you can bet that they'll be right in the mix when it comes to the district race. Weslaco, another team. But really, I still feel that we're about a month into the regular season, more or less.
Yeah, something like that. We're about a month in, and don't sleep on Edinburgh. I mean, Coach Arcibo does a great job every year, and they always outperform themselves. And he's got a good group again this year. They have tons of speed. He's got a couple fresh new faces there, and they're going to be pretty good as well. So I mean, and then you got Coach Tressler. So he's going to be consistently good. And you're going to have to beat him to beat him. He's not going to give you anything. And so that district's going to be just as tough. So and that goes back to what you said about Valley Softball. I mean, Valley Softball's getting better. If we're sitting here talking about how hard it's going to get in the playoffs for both those teams or both those districts, that's how good the Valley Softball is right now. And then you have a tournament with those guys in 32-6A, and then you throw in Lyford and everybody in between that's got some pop in them. Ooh, that one almost got out right there.
Garcia off the top of the wall. She's going to leg out a double. That's the 9th batter in the order. Showed off some serious pop there. Just speaks to the depth of Coach Tracy Blackman's club. One out double. Back to the top of the order. Guevara, she's 0 for 1 with a fly out to left.
That's something I've seen from Los Fresnos since she's come from Divine. When she's come in, is they're consistently 1 through 9. It's not that they're hitters, but they're going to hit you hard if you make a mistake. I mean, there's all these kids can flat out stroke it, and that's not a this year or that year thing. That's a program thing that you can say, and they do a great job in the weight room, and they come out and do a good job out here, and they have a lot of pride in what they do.
4-2, Los Fresnos lead. (1-0) fouled back. Count runs even, 1 ball, 1 strike. One point that Coach Tressler brought up was that, you know, the success that Edinburgh North has had, along with Edinburgh High and Edinburgh Vela. You know, from Edinburgh, we're a 4-school town. Just imagine how good softball would be if Edinburgh was, say, a 2-high school town.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
You know, because he had mentioned that a lot of people forget that Edinburgh is a 4-school town, and that's out. Number 2, Guevara retired. Because I didn't want to go as far as saying, well, if it's a 1-school town, because you know that it's most likely not the case in a big city like Edinburgh, but just to play devil's advocate and say it's a two-horse town, just to imagine how good the teams would be. Because already you see what Edinburgh North has done, what Vela did, because of course Vela was the last school to come in.
Right.
They came in as the 4th high school, and they're making the Sweet 16 almost every other year. Just speaks to the depth of the talent that Edinburgh has. So just imagine how good these teams would be if there was 2 high schools, say Edinburgh and Edinburgh North.
That's exactly right. You know, if we go back to the, before Vela was a high school, there was just so much depth at both of the schools, and that's why there was such a solid program from everybody in the Edinburgh area, and you add the 4th high school, and Vela has such success right away. I mean, right away they were immediate contenders almost in everything. So there's just so much talent on that side, and then PSG North is neighbor to Edinburgh,
Right.
and Coach Lugo does a good job over there. Her first year that they make a run, they win the district title, so she's Coach of the Year, right? So it's so much talent in that little metroplex right there that it's huge. Oh, great play right there. I saved him a couple.
That's how the inning will come to a close. We are through 2 here in Los Fresnos. You're watching Real Sports Live. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Sponsoring tonight's game is Casa Engineering Civil and Structural Associates. Located at 1117 Stewart Place Road in Harlingen, sponsoring tonight's game is Casa Engineering. Sponsoring tonight's game is Platillos Mexican Restaurant in Harlingen. Located at 1010 South Loop 499, Platillos Mexican Restaurant, where good people meet good food.
It's Truck Month at Hacienda Ford, and we're asking for your vote. Blue Truck stands for 4x4 off-roading, outdoor living at its best. Red Truck stands for hitting the job site with all your tools. It's the right truck for the working man. So where do you stand? Right now, you could lease the all-new, completely redesigned 2020 Ford Explorer for just $384 a month. Drive a beautiful new 2020 Explorer. Vote Ford. Vote Hacienda.
Welcome back to Real Sports Live. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch missing for ball 1. Top of the 3rd. Fresnos leads this 4-2. Then for a called strike. So I was mentioning that we're about a month into the season, and I still feel the way I felt preseason about where we stand as far as a power team, I, I'm starting to lean towards maybe Harlingen South is heading that way, but I still feel that we're missing that team. Like I'd mentioned to you, last year South was that team, Vela was that team, you all were that team with Erica Cortez. 2 years ago, you had Westlaco, you had San Benito.
And I'm not sure that's so much that we don't have that team as it is that everybody's getting a little bit better. And so on any given night, you're going to have to be good. I would have agreed with you a couple weeks ago and said that South had the people to be that team, and then they drop one, to a good Pioneer team. So it is what it is. You got to have to be good every night if you're going to play good teams. And so I don't know if it's so much that we don't have that team as it is that everybody's getting better across the board. Yeah, I'm gonna go down there for the brain trust. Anytime you leave her in charge, I may show up with a different lineup. Now she's having my mom come on staff has been just as awesome as having my wife come on staff. Us coming together as a family there together has been a true blessing that Rojando's given us, and I get three amazing coaches or two amazing coaches and one guy just trying to keeping them happy, get them there in time. I let them come in, do whatever they want. As long as you guys run the show and keep everybody rolling, you guys can do whatever you two want. But no, they do a great job. They coach the team. Trust me.
Yes, they do.
They keep the girls and me on even keel, and having them in the dugout. I think that's one thing that has made. I always say that I'm biased, that we have a tremendous job. It's nothing that I do by any means. It's all Liz and Mama.
Yeah, that's Debbie Esparza, just for the record, in case you're wondering. For those that don't know, Debbie Esparza.
Debbie Esparza, yeah. Having her, I noticed something special. I mean, of course, she's my mom, but watching her do it for years, in that 2017 year, I think it was her first year out of coaching, and she kind of stepped into the dugout on a whim, and she kind of stepped in, and she volunteered to keep the book at a playoff game. And I think just having her in the dugout, it just calmed the kids down. It gave them a little bit confidence. I told her it was a grandma effect, and she kicked me right in the butt. But whatever she can, whatever she can whisper, she's the kid whisperer right there. Whatever she can do to, and she's been tremendous. And then Liz became our volleyball coach a couple of years ago, and having her come on staff, having that much softball experience. Liz played for Judy Smith at South, and then had coached her own team for a few years, 6-7 years. Could have done it anywhere in the valley, and chose to come and meet up with me. Has been fantastic. And then to get Mama on as her title, she gets mad, but her title is JV head coach, and she gets mad at me. But no, she's all three of us just get together and really they kind of keep me out of the way for the most part, and then we get together and try to make it happen. But I'm really fortunate to have them both there. But I'm going to get them going, Kevin. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you again for you and Joe and all the guys getting everything going and doing everything you can for the Valley Sports.
So Coach Brett Esparza joining us here on the broadcast. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Real Sports Live.
Thank you, brother.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Coach Esparza joining us. Reba Reyes sends this one left center field. And that one's going to land right in front of the left fielder. Lost it in the sun. Reyes is going to be aboard with a double. Cruz, the left fielder, lost sight of the ball and was staring right into the sun. Reyes just missed the home run, but she'll be aboard with the leadoff double. Reyes is now 1 for 1.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Sponsoring tonight's game is Casa Engineering Civil and Structural Associates. Located at 1117 Stewart Place Road in Harlingen, sponsoring tonight's game is Casa Engineering. Sponsoring tonight's game is Platillos Mexican Restaurant in Harlingen, located at 1010 South Loop 499. Platillos Mexican Restaurant, where good people meet good food.
It's Truck Month at Hacienda Ford, and we're asking for your vote. Blue Truck stands for 4x4 off-roading, outdoor living at its best. Red
2 balls, 1 strike to the batter. Sam Campos fouls that one back for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Campos. Now it's getting a little warm, isn't it? Yeah, I'm wearing a sweater. And we're all wearing long Bert had a hoodie on earlier, and he's got a long sleeve underneath his shirt. We're all wearing long sleeves because it was pretty chilly this morning. Here's the 2-2. Swung on to the shortstop, Maddox. Over to first, throws off the line. Reyes will truck home and score. It'll be 5-2 on the throwing error from Maddox. So Campos will reach on the air. Crystal Bettis comes to the plate. She homered her last trip up. First pitch finding the river. Strike 1. So Coach Brett Esparza joining us on the broadcast, the head coach of the Rio Hondo Lady Bobcats. They got their work cut out for them. They got a 2 o'clock game scheduled against the Lyford Lady Bulldogs, who just showed up. They're warming up down the third base line. That pitch upstairs. Campos is going to try her chances. She's going to slide in safely into second base. That one fouled back and out of play. Crystal Pettis battling here in a 1-2 count. Campos on second. Swung on, picked by Maddox. Over to first. And the run will score. Maddox able to get the out 6-3. Got her by about a step. But the Lady Rattlers will exchange an out for a run. Now the bases will be clear. Bettis retired. Sophie Varela, now the batter, batting from the left-handed side of the plate. She's 1 for 1 with a run scored. First pitch upstairs for ball 1. 6-2 is the score, bottom of the third. 1 down in the inning. Here's the 1-0. This one slapped the other way foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lady Cats here doing a little bit of light tossing right here in the cages. Domo de Jesus warming up now. Lee Garcia getting back into the groove. We'll see who pitches in game 2. That pitch fouled back. One, two on the way. That pitch missing, just low and away. So Sinton's Haley Smith is our Hacienda She Has It player of the game. For the Sinton Lady Pirates. That pitch outside, good eye from Varela. Count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Three-two payoff pitch on the way. No one on the base paths, swung on. Picked by the shortstop Maddox, over to first. And in time for out number 2. Campos will come around to score. Kayla Jimenez now the batter. And the dirt for ball 1. Six-two ball game. That shot down the third base line is foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. We had a little mishap on the book. Campos hadn't scored until she came in on that fielder's choice. So the score is 6-2, in case you're wondering. Made a mistake on my book here. 2 runs come across the score, Reyes and Campos. Bettis and Varela both retired on 6-3 putouts. 2 down in the inning. 2-1 count, 2 down, bottom of the third. 6-2 Los Fresnos lead. Sharyland came out and took the quick 2-0 lead. That one's in the dirt for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. That pitch misses inside for ball 4. Jimenez draws the 2-out walk. Now Natasha Gonzalez will come to the plate. Jimenez, the lone base runner on first. Again, the Lyford Lady Bulldogs just rolled up. They're getting ready for their game against Rio Hondo at 2 o'clock. That pitch upstairs. Count runs even. And the pitch swung on. This one goes off the base past the diving Maddox. That's just a tough break there for the shortstop. Runners are going to be on the corners first and third. That's going to be a base hit. Maddox had that lined up perfectly, but then the ball just simply trickled off the corner of the base. It's really just bad luck there for Sharyland. Otherwise, that would have been a potential out. Jimenez will advance to third. Gonzalez will be on first. Maddox had the play on it. The ball just simply went off the corner of the bag. Tabby Garcia now comes to the plate. Hit a frozen rope. Almost hit a home run. Her last time up resulted in a double. Garcia takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. The 0-1. Garcia. That one falls in for a hit. It's going to score another run. Play at third. Gonzalez is safe on third. Jimenez comes home to score, and it's a 7-2 Los Fresnos lead. Runners still on the corners. Tabby Garcia with the RBI base knocked back to the top of the order. Andrea Guevara. She's 0 for 2, looking for her first hit. Ball to the second baseman, bobbled. Run's going to score. That's going to be an E4. Alyssa Silva unable to corral that one. Los Fresnos tacks on a run. Runners on first and second. Now a timeout on the field. We're going to take a timeout up here. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Job site with all your tools. It's the right truck for the working man. So where do you stand? Right now, you could lease the all-new, completely redesigned 2020 Ford Explorer for just $384 a month. Drive a beautiful new 2020 Explorer. Vote Ford. Vote Hacienda.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. After the timeout, runners on first and second. Teresa Villa, the batter. First pitch in for ball 1. Again, be sure to follow us on the social media sites at Rio Sports Live on Twitter and Instagram. Give us a like on Facebook at Rio Sports Live. We are in game 2 of our 4-game slate here on a Friday afternoon. That pitch well high, and both runners will advance. No one covering home. Gonzalez, or rather Garcia, thought about running with no one covering home. Pitch swung on. That one's popped up. Playable. Racing in, making the catch for out number 3. Los Fresnos adds 4 more to their lead. They lead 8-2 as we've played 3. You are watching Rio Sports Live.
At First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles? How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Sponsoring tonight's game is Casa Engineering Civil and Structural Associates. Located at 1117 Stewart Place Road in Harlingen, sponsoring tonight's game is Casa Engineering. Sponsoring tonight's game is Platillo's Mexican Restaurant in Harlingen, located at 1010 South Loop 499. Platillo's Mexican Restaurant, where good people meet good food.
It's Truck Month at Hacienda Ford, and we're asking for your vote. Blue Truck stands for 4x4 off-roading, outdoor living at its best. Red Truck stands for hitting the job site with all your tools. It's the right truck for the working man. So where do you stand? Right now, you could lease the all-new, completely redesigned 2020 Ford Explorer for just $384 a month. Drive a beautiful new 2020 Explorer. Vote Ford. Vote.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. Top of the 4th inning. It's an 8-2 ball game. Los Fresnos with the lead. Lexi Murillo leading things off for the Lady Rattlers. Foul tipped for strike 1. New pitcher in the game for Los Fresnos. Count runs 2 balls, 1 strike. Caitlin Pettis, the new pitcher for Tracy Blackman's club. Pettis coming into the ball game. Falls behind in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 3-1. Correction on the count. That was a ball ahead of the umpire. So Pettis, the new pitcher in. That one's fouled back. Two strikes on the batter. And the pitch, that one fouled back, and a good at-bat from Murillo. She reached on the fielder's choice in the first inning and scored the first run of the afternoon for Sharyland. They have both their runs coming in the first inning. Lyford Lady Bulldogs taking their pregame hacks. This one swung on. Reyes back at the wall, makes the grab for out number one. Reba Reyes going to St. Mary's University. We were at her signing a couple weeks ago. One down in the inning. Tristan Maddox, the batter. Maddox playing shortstop for the Lady Rattlers. That one hit the other way and foul. Maddox walked in her first trip to the plate, scored a run. She was the second run that the Lady Rattlers were able to put on the board. Since then, they've been scoreless in their last two innings. Maddox hits this one on the run, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. One out single for Maddox. That's her first hit of the afternoon. And the Lady Rattlers are going to have a base runner. That pitch in for a called strike one. Alyssa Silva, the batter. That one hit right to the shortstop for the second out. Almost doubled him up. 2 outs in the inning. Maddox almost got caught leaning. Quickly got back to the bag. 2 down in the inning. Alexis Silva now comes to the plate. 2 down in the inning. Pettis pumps in a strike. The 2 o'clock slate. The next 2 games, folks. If you don't know, now you know. Rio Hondo Lyford Part 2 at 2 o'clock. And then Los Fresnos, the host team, taking on Lyford in the 6 o'clock slate. Both some big-time softball games that we will have live for you on Rio Sports Live. That game coming up next. Lyford and Rio Hondo set to lock horns for the second time this year. Then Bert and I will take a little bit of a break ski, and Andrew Cordero out here taking pictures. He's staying hydrated. Shout out to him. Yep, he's all smiles out here taking pictures on his day off. We'll take a break at the 4 o'clock game, then we'll come back for the primetime slate. That pitch outside for ball one. I like the tunes going on to my left. They got Dreams by Van Halen over here to our left. I think that's the one thing softball is missing. I don't think they have a PA, nor do they have any music between innings. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Got her fooling. Midway through the 4th, 8-2 Los Fresnos with the lead. You're watching Rio Sports Live.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
First Community Bank, we believe in small business.
When Jennifer and Jimmy Wilson started Wild August Nursery and Flower Farm, they found Ricky Leal at First Community Bank had the financing to help them grow.
Make FCB your bank.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles, how about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Welcome back to Rio Sports Live. It's the bottom of the fourth inning. And an 8-2 ball game. Los Fresnos with the lead. 3-4-5, heart of the order due up. Reba Reyes leading things off. First pitch missing for ball one, and as you're watching right on your screen, again, pound for pound, the best player in the Rio Grande Valley, Reba Reyes. I'm gonna find out why she swapped to the number 4. She wore the number 5. I want to know why. I'm gonna try and grab Reba Reyes on board with us for an interview during the 2 o'clock game. Gonna solve that mystery. Reyes, of course, a natural shortstop, made the transition over to center field. One low and in. 3 balls, no strikes to Reyes. A senior this year, made her playoff debut last year as a junior. Los Fresnos hadn't been to the playoffs in 4 years, and Reyes was a part of that turnaround under Coach Tracy Blackman. 3-0 upstairs. Lady Rattlers want no part of Miss Reyes. She draws the walk. I hadn't seen anybody get, when it comes to intentional walks, Joanna Gonzalez a couple years ago. I can't remember the stat on hand, but Coach Lita sent me the stat on how many times Joanna Gonzalez was intentionally walked. Coach Lita has coached in the college ranks and has had plenty of high school experience, but never had she seen one player in high school get intentionally walked as many times as Joanna Gonzalez did. Ironically enough, half of those intentional walks came against Harlingen South from Coach Elias Martinez, who coached Joanna Gonzalez for a year. So there's a little bit of an irony there on Coach Martinez just knowing what Joanna Gonzalez could do, and he would simply intentional walk her to the point where fans were booing. That's in for a called strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just kind of let the kids play kind of thing, but Elias Martinez not giving in to Joanna Gonzalez. One of the better hitters we've seen, and now in comes Reba Reyes. Again, who is a natural shortstop, folks. If you could slide her in at short, she could play short. That one hit the other way. Should be 2. Flips it over to the shortstop covering Maddox. Reyes called out on the force play. Sam Campos will reach first on the fielder's choice. Crystal Bettis comes to the plate. So 1 down in the inning. Bettis digs in from the right-handed side of the plate. 1 for 2. 2-run home run in the first. And grounded into a 6-3 putout back in the third. Pitch upstairs for ball 1. Got 1:30 on my watch. We'll see how much longer this game goes on. Coach Esparza watching his club warm up. Valletta, the batter in the on-deck circle. 8-2. Los Fresnos lead. Three balls, no strikes. To the batter, Bettis. Thank a couple sponsors. Reliable Electric Company, licensed, bond, and insured. Duto Bettis, specializing in commercial and residential trouble calls. Quality work at a fair price. City taxi cabs in Port Isabel and South Padre Island. 4-pitch walk. Runners on first and second. Campos will advance a base. Bettis draws the walk. City taxi cabs in Port Isabel and South Padre Island. City cabs servicing the whole Laguna Madre area from Laguna Vista, Port Isabel, South Padre Island. Clean, prompt, and courteous. Along with Napa Auto and Truck Parts. Open 7 days a week. Free delivery from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Thank a couple of our sponsors for sponsoring this Port Isabel Los Fresnos tournament. Day 2 of the tourney. On a sunny afternoon, and the weather is definitely a lot warmer than it was yesterday. I know yesterday we would get the clouds would cover the sun and it would get cool all of a sudden. Maybe it's because we were by the water. Port Isabel High School right across the street from the bay. Los Fresnos not too far away, but nonetheless we're not complaining. Runners on first and second. Sophie Varela comes to the plate. She's 1 for 2 with a single in the first and a run scored. Grounded into a 6-3 ground out back in the third inning. 6-7-8 the order due up for Los Fresnos. Varela batting from the left-handed side of the plate. Half-hearted swing. They're going to check. I'm not sure if she went. I'm checking with the home plate umpire if she went. Nonetheless, that pitch was outside, so it's going to be ball 1. Varela did not go on the pitch. Jimenez in the on-deck circle. Pitch missing for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. I forgot that today was Friday, so there is school in session here at Los Fresnos High School. It's kind of just got lost track of my days there. The 2-0. Swing and a miss, first strike 1. So that's going to be my mission here between games. I'm going to go down there and grab a player of the game who really haven't figured one out yet, but I'll figure that out. I'm going to try and recruit Reba Reyes up here to talk some softball. This one's popped up to the left side. And Maddox making the catch. Maddox not giving up on that play. That's what you want to see out of your club. You're down 8-2 in a tournament game. Maddox laying out for that one. If you're Paul Cruz, you got to like what you see there, the effort from the kids. Kayla Jimenez now the batter, the designated player. Had an RBI double back in the first, drew a walk in the third, and later scored a run. That one missing low for ball 1. Runner still on first and second. The Lady Cats warming up right in front of us. Going through some hitting drills, staying warm. Coach Esparza and his club getting ready for that rematch with Lyford at 2 o'clock. This one's hit the other way. It's going to be fouling out of play off the top of the cage. Lyford Lady Bulldogs, they're here and they're ready to roll. It'll be their first game of 2 that they will be playing this afternoon. They got the 2 o'clock and the 6 o'clock slate. Coach Joey Rios and his club ready to roll. They're well rested. I'm sure the kids got to enjoy getting out of school early. Here's the 1-1. This one hit the other way and foul. Heads up. Now the Rio Hondo boys baseball team coming on by. They're coached by Coach Sergio Gonzalez. Depending on what their schedule looks like, they might be able to catch some of the 2 o'clock game. That pitch in the dirt, both runners will advance. Deuces Wild on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on. Bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the 2-2. That one's fouled down the third base side. The count will remain even. Alexis Silva still in the circle for the Lady Rattlers. Silva facing a 2-2 count with 2 down. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Ball skips in the dirt for ball 3. Count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Isalas making a nice pick behind the plate. Three-two payoff pitch on the way with 2 down. That one swung on, left center field. That one making the catch in center for the 3rd out of the inning. That's going to be a final score. That's going to be the ball game. Los Fresnos Lady Falcons take this one by a final score of 8-2. Want to thank everyone for joining us on Rio Sports Live. Don't go anywhere. We have the 2 o'clock game coming up. Rio Hondo and Lyford Part 2 on Rio Sports Live. Kevin Arrow saying so long and see you in about 30 minutes.
Sponsoring tonight's game is Scasa Engineering Civil and Structural Associates.